I'm Chuck Wood, and I'm here with Kevin Colosi from Colorado Springs, and he's one of our great online trainers. And we're just going to interview him today so that you would have the opportunity to participate in some online training with Kevin. So, Kevin, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am a retired Army guy where I was associated with the Navigators, and I met Chuck there and saw the value of one-to-one discipleship. And after I moved away from a military base, I ended up at a college campus where I began to realize that the methods I was using weren't quite as effective as they were in a military installation. So um, I began to seek other methods and techniques, and I linked up with Chuck Wood back in about 2011, 2012. I heard that he had began to use T4T in San Antonio, and so I decided I wanted to use those methods and techniques, and I began to train with Chuck online and find out more about what he was doing and how that was going. And I threw myself into that after I moved to Lincoln, Nebraska, and had a church start there in Lincoln, Nebraska, and that has continued. Even though the number of participants has changed, there's a couple in Lincoln, Nebraska that is still laboring, and I am meeting with them every other week on site to do some laboring with them. And then about a year after that, I moved to Colorado Springs, and I still stayed with online training. And then actually after online training, I met another guy in Lincoln, Steve Janovic, and we began to labor together there too. So there's some fruit. Steve is very fruitful there in Lincoln, and I still meet with him regularly too. But I'm in Colorado Springs now, and I got a referral from a guy named Aaron Palmquist, and there's another church start in Colorado Springs with a couple that is fully devoted to reaching out. The wife of that couple is reaching out to Muslims, and we are laboring together in their community now too, as a threesome, and we are starting the effort there. We've only gone out once, but there's a church start there. They have invited people to that church so we can try and get some momentum, and there is 5 of us meeting right now, counting me. And so that's an exciting development in Colorado Springs. So that's basically what I've seen him do. There are other people I've trained online as well, long distance, and those people that have engaged, and then some of them have disengaged after a while. And there was even an online, what I would consider close to an online church in Denver and Utah, about 4 of us there that were meeting together. And with my experience with online training has been really fruitful. I have enough of a background with discipleship that I was able to gain the techniques and methods pretty easily. I did some training with Chuck, and then Jonathan Ammon and I have been co-hosting some online training with No Place Left. We call it No Place Left Discipleship Training, and we cover the commands of Christ on a regular basis, so people can see what that looks like, and they can get some experience in leading those and getting some feedback. And then also online, Jonathan has had the brainstorm of integrating some guest trainers. So we have people like Chuck Wood, Aaron Palmquist, and other people come in. Troy Cooper came once. John Williams, both those from E3 came in, and they've all done some training of things that's on their heart, things like how to integrate children into not only training but also ministry and into church. So we've had some great guest trainers, and then we also will cover skills. So 2 weeks of every month we cover either a skill or a guest trainer, and then the other 2 weeks we look at more standard topics like the commands of Christ, or like the Four Fields illustration, which are all short-term and transitionary into long-term discipleship. So that's pretty much, I think that answers your initial questions there, Chuck. I'm going to put my headphones back in.
Great, Kevin. Thank you. And so Kevin's one of our online trainers. You do well to connect with him and get trained in T4T, a Four Fields ministry, until there's no place left.